Next up, we have Tracy Link. I've known Tracy maybe 18 months now. I first met her. She was growing her company and was really, what I would say is being really smart and aggressive with certain things. And one of the things that I told her is, if you don't raise your hand, you'll never get anything. And she's really taken that true to heart. And so she raises her hand all the time, and she's been able to win a lot of things that, had she not raised her hand or applied for something, she wouldn't have got. Recently, she was named one of the 10,000 Goldman Sachs. I don't remember what exactly it's called, but that was last week. Also, this year it was named to the Inside Business Entrepreneurial Excellence Awards, which, when she asked me what should I do, I said, well, nominate yourself. I mean, they tell you to do it. And then when she got the award, she called me. I think she was crying. I think I cried a little. It was nice. But here's the thing. You're not going to win these things if you don't push into it. You're not going to get new business if you're not going to find it. And so I think a lot of people sit and wonder, well, why isn't this happening to me? What are you doing to control that? If you're afraid to pick up the phone, figure out a different way, right? Or if people aren't answering the phone, do something different. Send them a text. I'm going to call that guy today too, by the way. You guys want me to do it while I'm here? Okay. He actually told me to call him back Monday, so I don't have to today. But I'll call someone else. You don't want me to? No. So Tracy is going to take it away, and she's going to talk about how she has continued to grow even when things have been a challenge. So, Tracy, take it away.
Zach, here, have a pen.
Oh, yes. Love it.
Hi, y'all. I'm Tracy Link, and I'm with Integrity Security. And I'm here to talk to y'all a little bit today about when to start. How many people in this room are actually already business owners? Raise your hands. How many of you are actually thinking of starting a business and you came here to find out more about the journey? Okay, so a little bit of everything. I knew when I was in high school that I wanted to be a business owner. I didn't get a business till I was 49 years old. So sometimes you just got to keep at it. But I was in FBLA, went to college. I was a business administration major. And suddenly I found out halfway through college that I was going to be raising my sister's children. And so dropped out of college, married the first guy dumb enough to marry me back, started raising kids. 6 sons later, and yes, I said 6 sons. Everybody graduated high school. Some are military, some are crazy. But anyway, but everybody grew up, and the whole time I had jobs. I had lots of jobs. I was a secretary. I was an administrative assistant. I was an insurance agent. I was a real estate agent. And it was all because I just wanted to be my own boss. And it's something that was innate in me. I knew when I was little. And it took until I was 49 years old. I had built 2 security service provider companies for 2 men. They're both rich. And I was unemployed. Again, you know, it's like, oh, just a long chain of events of being unemployed. And my husband, after my last partnership failed, finally said, what do you want to do? And I said 2 things. One, I was living in Hampton. I said, I want to move home. I'm from Portsmouth. Anybody who knows me knows I love Portsmouth. So I wanted to go home to build the business. And I wanted to start a security business. Now, I'm female. I am not a law enforcement person. I don't have a law enforcement background. But I've run security operations for over 16 years. And it just seemed like, oh, that'd probably be what I'm good at doing. And it's not hard. You know, and I think that's the thing with business ownership that most people forget is if you have a desire to do it, it's not that hard. It's not complicated, I'd say. Lots of time, lots of lean times financially, But I actually was completely broke when I started Integrity Security. I wanted to start a business, had no idea how to pay for it because I had used up all my money helping with a partnership that didn't work out. Well, it worked out for the partner, but it didn't work out for me. And so we had to start from scratch. My mother sent me a cute little letter. She lives in Pennsylvania. Sent me a letter in the mail with a $500 check in it. It said, look, I know you've been struggling. Here's some money. Pay some bills. Buy some groceries. That's what mothers want you to do when they give you money. And I paid for a Department of Criminal Justice Services business license so I could go into business. And I didn't care if we ate, we can go plant a tomato. So, and that was in March of 2014. By June of 2014, we had our first customer online and we began operations. And quite frankly, I haven't looked back. I will never work for somebody else again. I love being a business owner. I'm a quote person. I'm a millennial mother. So I post lots of quotes on Facebook, hoping some of these sons will read them. But one of them, my favorite, is a Steve Jobs quote, life is short. Don't waste it living somebody else's life. And I did that for 49 years. Now, some people think 49 is not that old. I know I don't think 49 is that old anymore, but that was a couple years ago. But I had done just that. And then all of a sudden, I was without any resources. I was without any hope. And I said, okay, let's just do it. And just like you said, let's just do it. That has to be the mantra of small business and entrepreneur people. You just don't think, do it. If you have an idea and it's good enough, you'll find a way. And one of the things I learned is I didn't have a big marketing budget. And this is a marketing-heavy business I'm in. Stiff competition, very grisly people. Just what we do is not pretty. There's not anything you can package it up to look nice. I run guard operations. I'm a security guard by trade. So what did I have to do to get business? And I gave all my good customers to my last partner, so I couldn't get them. And so we talked about, my husband was always a big supporter, different ideas to do things cheap. And I will show you, I just gave Zach $200, buy 500 pens and pass them around to people when you want them to know about your business. $200. Of course, my mom didn't send me that money, so. So there's always a way, and I guess that's the thing I want to tell you, is to kind of power through it. There are ways to leverage money that customers owe you to pay your bills until they actually write the check. There's ways to do things without getting big infusions of capital. My company is debt-free. It is 2 years old. It is worth $500,000 in annual sales, and it is debt-free. That is an accomplishment. I have 22 employees, and that was 2 years ago. My mom sent me a check, 2 years and 5 months ago, to get a business license. So it can be done. And quite frankly, I have no special skills. I'm not talented with art or inventing things. I'm not technologically advanced. I made my website on a GoDaddy module. And then Zach has very kindly showed me all kinds of different ways to make it look better. And hey, here's this app and here's that thing you can do. And that's really the thing. Build your network and build it with people that believe what you're doing is going to come out okay. All the people who said, you have no idea what you're doing, don't do it. Go get a job. I hate people telling me go get a job. Don't tell me to. I'm not working for anyone again. So it's all about persevering through the hard times. And quite frankly, 2016 was supposed to be my big year. I started 2016. The business was turning 2. I was now qualified to apply for that precious 8A with the federal government. You have to be 2 years old for that. We were hitting that mark. 1 entrepreneur excellence. I've been to 7 funerals of very close family members since February. I ended up with custody of an elderly aunt in March, and she is in end-stage dementia. And all of these things are things that will pull you away from your business and what you plan on doing. And I was like, no, I have to get back to the business. I have to get back to the business. And so I kind of powered through each one of those things. My stepdad died. My uncle that left me the aunt, he died. My best friend lost her mother and her husband in the same day. You know, so it was kind of like all of these things happened, and I was trying to run my business and stay positive and enthusiastic and get out and market. 2016 has not been my year. And I don't even think I told Zach about this, but in July 7th, my husband had a stroke. July 29th, my husband had a second stroke. He's blind, and he has no short-term memory. And I'm here. My business is that important, especially now because he doesn't have a job. And one of the things that Zach will tell you I talked about all the time was borrowing my husband's paycheck to make my payroll. It's like, oh, honey, we even lined up paydays to align with his paydays with his real job so that I could actually have a little cushion in case I was short to make payroll for my employees. You see, the name of my business is integrity. I can't not pay the employees. I can't bounce a paycheck. I can't do those things because I wouldn't be living up to my name. So now I don't have that cushion, and I figured it out. We're going to be just fine. The business has grown. I was trying not to take money out of the business for our personal use for a few more years. I had a husband with a great job. The plans changed. Plans change. Business plans should not be permanent. Everything you say you want to do with your business, try. And when it doesn't work, try something else. You know, there's always a way to power through. Don't ever take a defeatist attitude about you can't do it anymore. I just can't even picture it. So through all of these things that happened this year, I did win Entrepreneurial Excellence, and I did just get accepted to the 2016 Fall National Cohort for Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Businesses. And that is a free program that will teach me everything that my husband will no longer be able to help me with. And so everything happens for a reason. But it really boils down to this. It is all about doing it. Don't give up. Don't quit. And if you haven't started, start. If you need help, there's places like Hatch. There's places like the SBDC at the Chamber of Commerce. But start. Don't wait another minute. Because next thing you know, you'll be looking back from 50 and going, gosh, I didn't start my business yet. And you don't want to do that. I'm so happy to be a business owner. You have no idea. It just, every day I get up, I get to wear flip-flops to the office, you know, and I don't wear formal clothes unless I know I'm going somewhere. A lot of time, I keep a whole set of clothes in my office. And that was another thing. I started in a bedroom. It was in a back bedroom. I now have offices in Portsmouth with a door, and people can come in and visit. I was very excited about that. You know, so it's all about writing the plan and executing every step. And when you run into a roadblock, build your network. Find people like me, people like Zach, that will answer your questions and say, hey, this is what I had to do. This is how I climbed over that wall, and this is how you can. So anyway, but that's my story. Really glad to be here. I'm more interested in hearing all your stories because that's how I roll. So anyway, does anybody have any questions? Yes, sir.
Did you tell your mom you bought a business license instead of license?
Only after I started my first customer. Yeah, she didn't want to hear that. She's like, you know, that's the one thing. Your moms are not always your biggest cheerleaders. You know, your moms will, do they know what a nut job you are? Yes, Mom, everybody knows. So, but no, she, in hindsight, when I flew her down here so that she could sit with me at Entrepreneurial Excellence, she was all good. She had no problems with that choice. Yes, sir.
You said you gave away all your great customers to your previous partner.
Mm-hmm.
What did you do first to go out and build relationships with new customers?
Door-to-door sales. It's why I got pens. And actually, you want to start passing around? I brought everybody a pen today. I wanted something people wouldn't throw away. And it was truly door-to-door business sales. And you'd knock on a door, and if you just give them a business card, they'll throw it away. So I went with pens, and instead of passing out business cards, I pass out pens. And most people, when I see them next time, still have my pen. And they're Bic, by the way. They're good black Bic pens. They're clicky, so they don't leak. And so, yeah, I mean, but it actually has worked. And actually, the bag that they're in was another little marketing thing I did. And the very first customer I gave that to, because one of the things in business-to-business sales is getting past the front desk. Getting past the gatekeeper, as we like to call them. And I made little gift bags, and I put a bag of popcorn, microwave popcorn, a bottle of water, some candy, a pen, and a brochure about my business. And it said, "Give me a break" on the tag. And you'll see it on that bag. And I walked in, and I'd hand it to the front person, and I'm like, "Here, if you make sure my brochure gets to whoever makes decisions, here's a whole entire break for you to enjoy when you get your next break." And believe it or not, actually, first one I gave out has been a customer for 12 months. So, yeah, good. It was beautiful thing. I love things that are cheap and easy. So, and those are things that were cheap and easy, Anybody else? All right.
I like your byline.
Thanks. Yeah, that was to not have to fill in the mission plan statement on my business plan. Yes, ma'am.
So what other organizations do you belong to that have you?
Well, I actually am a member of Hatch since started hanging out with Zach as much as he didn't like an old lady grouping, but but started about 18 months ago. I target groups that actually are in, one of my big memberships is in the HR ACRE, Hampton Roads Association of Commercial Real Estate, because my target customers are people who own buildings just like this and large-scale properties and infrastructure. So, but here's the thing about joining those groups and trying to build your network. Don't just join. You need to be part of it. Sit on their boards and their committees. Let them know who you are and give yourself some credibility up close and personal. I sit on the local affairs board at Hampton Roads Chamber, or at the HR ACRE, and I'm also a member of the Chamber of Commerce, and that's worked out real well for me too. But I sit on their committees, and I raise my hand when they say, we need somebody to do this. And if it sounds kind of interesting, then I'll raise my hand and do it. And the cool thing about the way I have to market, my business runs 24/7. I ramp up my operational work that I do personally starting Friday nights, and I unroll it on Monday mornings. So most of my week is free to market. And so I got to lobby in Richmond for HR ACRE this past winter and then go meet my delegate and my state senator. And so there's opportunities everywhere you look, and find the cheapest ones you can. HR ACRE, I think, is under $300 a year. Hatch, I have to say, Hatch is probably the single best investment. For what I pay for my memberships and my network organizations, yeah, I'd have to say Zach keeps his small businesses in everyone's faces. And find those places, find that niche that works for you, and stay with it. So, anybody else? That's it? Okay. Thank you.